Hey everybody, it's Cowboy. Quick Bitcoin analysis from yesterday, more for educational purposes. Stick around, got some info on how to find us afterwards. Well, I can tell you right now, Bitcoin is bearish. Yeah, I would guess that what we see right now is one of two things. We might see a bit of a retracement, just a bit, as you're starting to see right now. See price headed down pretty hard, right? If I were to ignore the liquidity charts and just look at price action, right, I would be looking at using this Fibonacci tool, looking at the 618 as a guide. That's usually where price likes to go. I'll mark out the 786 and price may go there. And then I'm going to use my fixed range tool. And I'm going to measure the impulse. All right, so aside from where price is right now, there's not a whole lot of like liquidity in the recent move. There is up by the 786, right? But outside of that, there's not. Now, if we go back a little bit, we can see that there is a fair amount of volume right here. And this does coincide with the 618. But as of the recent move, there's not a lot of volume nodes for price to want to go to. And just so you understand that these where these bars kind of stick out, that's where price is going to want to go, right? It doesn't always make it there. The chart has to favor a move in that direction. But so far, one of these two areas is where price could go. It doesn't mean it will. There does need to be enough force in that direction. And it's what might be happening is that, look, if price doesn't retrace that far, it literally could just like keep going down. That's possible. It's very possible that it could continue down even from like right where it is right now. Let's see. Let's bring out all the gobbledygook. In order for it to continue down, there would have to be a fair amount of force. I could tell you it's bearish enough to do it, right? It is bearish enough to do it, but I wouldn't go short just yet. I'd be looking at my algo to tell me I could go short, because it's like the price action that we could see right now is that price wants to go short, but it might still need to retrace a bit. So it might fool some people into going short, right? It might kind of fool some people and then grab, some of this liquidity up here and then go down. That can happen. That's one option. But another option is simply for price to just go down. Could happen. It's very possible. But another tool that we can use would be looking at the liquidity nodes, and this is over at kingfisher.io. And if you're watching this, I'll have a referral link in the description if you're on YouTube. And let me grab a liquidity map. There's a lot of liquidity. There's a lot of Bitcoin liquidity sitting up higher at 43,000 and a whole bunch of it at 43.8, but this node starts at 43.5. So 43.5 to 44 is where price may want to go, right? And we'll explain what that means in a minute, but we'll just draw out the boxes. So we said 43.5 to 44. Okay. So 43.5 to 44. So all the way up here, there, and that makes sense. That makes sense that there is liquidity up here because of all this price action back here. So, we might see Bitcoin grab that liquidity before it goes down. Very possible. Even though price seems to want to continue down, a lot of people have gone short. And the reason that those liquidity nodes are there in this area is because people's stop losses are there, or their liquidations really, where people in the derivatives market have gone short. And if price goes up to here, their trades get liquidated. And people who have higher leverage, they tend to know this, although they oftentimes don't. And their stop losses will be in that area too. So it'll be the same kind of thing. Now here on the downside, these are liquidity nodes that are close by. It's a good chance price will go there. There's one good one right at like 42,000. And then there's a fair amount down at like say 41.5. And I know I had there were more at about 41.3, but those are gone now. So these liquidity nodes right here, these purple ones, are where people have gone long, right? So that means like people have bet on the price going up, and their liquidations and stop losses are down in this kind of 41.5 area. So it really starts at 42, and you have a block of them at around 42, and you have a block of them around 41.5. So we'll say 42 right here, right, kind of surrounding that. And then down at 41.5, like here. So just where I drew that arrow, and that would make sense because if we're measuring the Fibonacci extension coming down from this main impulse, which this is the impulse, right? The impulse is the big move. So this big move is called an impulse. And the Fibonacci extension to that impulse is the 272 is right below this node, and the 618 is right below this node. So these two lower targets are decent targets for Bitcoin, 42K, 41.5 right now. But there's always that chance that, you know, especially on these slow times between Christmas and New Year's, that Bitcoin grabs this liquidity before it goes down. Hey everybody, Cowboy here. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget you can go over to www.algofactory.tech. Zap the QR code on the screen. Get us on Twitter at algo_factory777. And don't forget, we help people become traders. We help also to put people on the road to creating an algorithm that you can automate if that's what you would want to do. You can walk away, trade, it's a beautiful thing. And limited time, $49.99 a month for the membership. We hope to see you there. Thanks.